Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up. Because what I'm about to tell you could be a game changer not just for the Jets, but for the entire NFC West. And it definitely sends shockwaves through the Seahawks camp. Rumors are swirling, and insiders like Rossini are dropping some bombshells about a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the NFL. And yes, it involves none other than Garrett Wilson, one of the league's most electric young receivers, and it's looking like he might soon be donning the Seahawks colors. Let's break down what's happening here. The Jets, currently sitting at 4-6, are in a tricky spot. They're facing some serious financial crunches, with a cap situation that's negative about $28 million in 2026, and the looming reality of Aaron Rodgers' retirement. It's no secret that the Jets are in rebuild mode, especially when considering their draft strategy and salary cap flexibility. They're eyeing a fresh start, and acquiring draft capital seems to be the top priority. And that's where Garrett Wilson comes into play. Wilson, the 23-year-old route-running phenom, has been showing out since his rookie season. In 2025 alone, he racked up 98 catches for 388 yards and 12 touchdowns, making him one of the most dynamic receivers in the league. His advanced stats are eye-popping, averaging nearly 4 yards per route run, which puts him in the top tier among wide receivers, and earning a PFF grade of 93.2, which is elite. Wilson's EPA per target is close to half a yard, and he's a yardage after catch monster with 5.8 yards after the catch per reception. What really stands out, though, are his 38 explosive plays and 36 missed tackles forced, showing his ability to turn short plays into big gains and break tackles in open space. This kid's been a staple for the Jets, playing all 17 games in 2025, and since entering the league, he's amassed over 200 yards and 22 touchdowns. Think of him as a younger version of OBJ back in his prime, fast, shifty, and clutch when it counts. For the Jets, the move makes perfect sense. They're targeting a rebuild focused on their quarterback situation, with a top 8 pick in this year's draft and plenty of cap space to re-sign key players like Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams. Plus, they're extending players like Mike Williams, who's been a reliable target with a PFF grade of 82. Wilson is the kind of player who can elevate the Jets' offense instantly, adding a dynamic element they desperately need. Now, what about the Seahawks? Well, if this deal goes down, it could be a huge boost for Seattle. The Seahawks, sitting at 5-5, are already in the playoff hunt, but their receiver core could benefit immensely from a player like Wilson. DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith-Njigba are solid, but the team has been lacking that true game-breaking WR2. Wilson's addition could be the spark that pushes Geno Smith's offense into a new stratosphere. Imagine Wilson lining up alongside DK, stretching defenses vertically and creating mismatches all over the field. It's a recipe for explosive plays, and we all know how much Pete Carroll loves a versatile, dynamic offense. The impact would be significant. With Wilson on the team, projections show an additional 500 passing yards, giving Geno that extra yardage boost needed to challenge defenses deep down the field. His chemistry with DK would only improve, with Wilson adding around 2 yards per route, and his separation from defenders increasing by about 7 yards. That means more open looks, more deep targets converted, and more opportunities for the Seahawks' offense to stay on the field and score. But it's not just about the yards, it's about the culture shift. Wilson is a proven winner, and bringing in a young star like him signals that the Seahawks are serious about contending again, that they're not just in rebuild mode but pushing hard to get back to the Super Bowl. This could be the move that elevates their odds significantly, jumping from plus 5,500 to plus 1,500 in Super Bowl futures, showing that the bookmakers see this as a real possibility now. And let's not forget, facing defenses like the Vikings or other top-tier teams becomes even more daunting with Wilson in the mix. He's a true X-factor, capable of lighting up the secondary and making defenses pay for overcommitting. His ability to produce big plays when it matters most could be just what the Seahawks need to make a deep playoff run, especially in a league where passing games decide championships. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually happens, but the signs are pointing toward a very real possibility. Seattle fans, this is the kind of move that shifts the entire narrative of the season. It's a bold statement that the Seahawks are not just trying to stay competitive. They're aiming for the top, for another shot at that shiny Super Bowl trophy. Imagine the excitement of seeing Wilson, DK, and JSN all firing on all cylinders, with the defense tightening up and the whole team playing with renewed confidence and swagger. That's the kind of football we've been dreaming about, and it might be just around the corner. Now, it's worth mentioning that Wilson's addition isn't just about immediate impact. It's about the future, about building a core that can sustain success for years to come. Wilson's youth, talent, and proven production make him a perfect fit for Seattle's long-term plans. Plus, the Seahawks front office has been diligent about maintaining cap flexibility and building through the draft, so a trade for Wilson would be a strategic move, not just a splashy one. In the grand scheme of things, this potential move reflects the Seahawks' evolution. They're not just content to be playoff contenders, they want to be Super Bowl champions again. With a young, dynamic receiver like Wilson, they could accelerate that journey, turning their offense into one of the most explosive in the league. And for us fans, it means more hope, more excitement, and more reasons to believe that the good times are coming back. So keep an eye on this story, Seahawks Nation. If it happens, it's going to be a game changer. The NFC West is already tough, with teams like the 49ers and Rams always lurking, but a weapon like Wilson could tip the scales in Seattle's favor. It's a bold move, but one that could pay huge dividends in the weeks and seasons ahead. The Seahawks are showing they're serious about winning now and in the future, and that's exactly what we want to hear. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what do you think, Seahawks fans? Are you hyped about the possibility of Garrett Wilson joining this team? How do you see him fitting into Pete Carroll's system? Do you believe he could be the missing piece that takes us back to the Super Bowl? I want to hear all your thoughts, so drop your comments below. Let's discuss what this move could mean for the Seahawks' future. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned and keep that Seahawks spirit alive. We're on the verge of something exciting, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Go Hawks!